I'll turn it over to you.
Awesome. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am calling this meeting of the Policy Committee to order. It is 5:37 p.m. Tuesday, October 21st. I'd also like to announce that the meeting is being recorded, which has already been recorded, and I can turn it over to you for roll call.
Yeah. Director Carmichael.
Here.
And Director Pollock.
Here.
Awesome.
Perfect. Yeah, and then with that, we have quorum. And then let me read the land acknowledgement. So before we begin, we would like to acknowledge the Chumash people who are the traditional custodians of this land. We pay our respects to the Chumash elders, past, present, and future, who call this place Anaskoyo, the land that Isla Vista sits upon, their home. We are proud to continue their tradition of coming together and growing as a community. We thank the Chumash community for their stewardship and support, and we look forward to strengthening our ties as we continue our relationship of mutual respect and understanding. Alrighty, now open up to public comment. So at this time, any member of the public may speak on matters within the subject matter jurisdiction of the policy committee that are not on the agenda. The committee will not take any action. The committee will not take action on any item not on the agenda except as provided by law. So looking in the room, we have no public comment. Do we have any on Zoom?
Nothing on Zoom.
Alrighty, let's get into our agenda for paid sick time policy.
Alrighty. Okay. So we met and chatted about this briefly at our last meeting. So we brought it back based on everything you guys shared. We drafted up a policy, sent it to our HR attorney, and this is what we're coming back with. The major changes are, so prior, the addition before what stands currently, all employees, regular, temporary, part-time, all employees, as soon as they were hired, received 24 hours up front of sick time. This proposal is only offering that to regular employees.
Okay,
Talk
so
about why.
Our change is that that 24 hours immediate is for regular. Okay.
It's for regular, that's one of the changes. And then the other reason we needed to do this as well is because the temporary and introductory employee minimum allotment changed from 40 hours to now they receive 80 hours, can accrue up to 80 hours.
Okay, and was that like a change in state policy?
Yes.
Okay.
And so to meet that need, that's written here in this bullet, temporary. But they accrue 1 hour for every 30 hours worked. So our temp staff can work anywhere from like 5 hours a week to 15 hours a week. It just depends. So the reason that this is a little bit funky is rather than tracking, we're tracking now for both. So we're tracking for paid or for temp and for regular staff. We have a really great spreadsheet that does it all. I just enter in how many hours that employee works and then it gives us the accrual. So I think this committee can decide whether or not you still want to offer the 24 upfront to temp staff like we had it before. We have been seeing an increase in people using the sick time. And because the cap went from 40 to 80, that's a lot of sick time that can be used. That's like, what, 2 weeks? Time.
Especially if they're only working like sometimes 5 hours.
Right.
Like,
right. They'll accrue slower, but they still accrue. I mean,
it's still higher.
But that's what, 16 weeks if they work,
Yeah. So that's the proposal of removing that. Automatic allotment for temp staff is because of the accrual that takes place and the not working as often. And then the only other additions that you'll see here are we just, again, to meet clarifying, for the family member under this policy, what that means. We removed this section. So we talked a little bit in our last meeting about like after 5 scheduled work days of consecutive use paid sick time, the employee has to meet. It was feeling too much like a medical leave. So we took that out, but we did include the medical release for 4 consecutive days required to provide a medical release note before the employee may return to work. And then the other thing is asking for a doctor's note. And that was mainly, we had to remove, there's another. But yeah, there's now a doctor's note, that we can ask for.
So we've added, the changes that we've added in the doctor note requirement.
Yeah, shall
Okay.
provide reasonable advance notification, and then if they need more, then yeah, they should provide them.
Okay, so employees should,
As soon as is practical.
uh-huh.
But wait, so that doesn't require a note from the doctor? Or wait, oh, up here it does, not down here.
Employees who request to use.
May be required to provide a doctor's note. We had originally said like they had to provide, but it has to be, yeah, may provide a doctor's note.
And so is that at the GM, AGM
Yes,
discretion?
Discretion.
Wait.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Supporting who need to take more than 4 days.
Mhm.
Provide a medical note.
Before they can return to work.
Okay, interesting, yeah. So that wasn't in it last time.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
No.
I suppose that makes sense though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking for any other notes that to scroll all the way.
Just grammar stuff.
Yeah, grammar stuff and then meeting the state laws and.
Mm-hmm.
And so up here, the state law made it for an 80-hour cap.
Correct. From
Okay.
48. excuse me. It was
From 48 up to 80.
Mhm.
That's a lot for,
Temporary.
yeah. And then the regular employees have 168.
Cap.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and so right now, so wait, the decisions we need to make are whether we give the 24 hours to
Up front to
temporary.
temp staff. Mhm.
Okay,
And then as long as you guys are okay with how things have been written in regards to the 4 consecutive paid sick days,
uh-huh.
may require a doctor's note
Okay.
and a medical release to come back.
That part seems good. Yeah, the 24 hours up front seems a lot for a
Yeah.
temporary staff.
I mean, I don't like the idea of not having like anything up front for temporary, but
We
20, but maybe we could bring that. I mean, 24 for full-time
We-
employees is fine.
we could make it like proportional, like so
Oh, yeah, I like that.
a full-time works 40 hours a week and then a temporary, what's the average, do you know?
I'd say it's closer to between 15 and 20 a week.
Mhm.
Okay,
Probably closer to 15 on average.
so
yeah.
the full-time get about half of a week up front. You said like 15 to 20?
Yeah, a week.
Okay, so we could give them like 8. So
Yeah, I mean, I like that idea of
One
having like a formula of,
Yeah.
you know, if you work 40 hours a week, what, you know, ratio of your work is 24 hours, and then just carry that all the way down. So if you are scheduled to work for only 5 hours a week, then, you know, your ratio is gonna be lower, but it's gonna be the same ratio for everyone, so it's more equitable.
So 60%. That's the 24 out of 40.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so.
Would that be possible to do like
Mhm.
60?
Yeah, we can give any amount
60%,
upfront that you guys want.
Oh, okay.
60% of a week,
Mhm.
a week's work.
Yeah, and then I like having the same rate so that you have a
Yeah.
line of equity going through, so you don't get into.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Got more than I did, so
Yep.
such and such.
Okay, so we said, sorry, 12 hours or 8 hours?
Yeah. Oh, should we have a specific number for them? Because we were just on, could we do it as like a ratio of their first week? Like however many hours
Oh,
they're
that's-
assigned? Is that
That's gonna be
tricky?
Very, very hard to track.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, yeah.
Sorry.
No, yeah,
That'd
that's
be
fine.
excessively difficult.
Okay,
Mhm.
8 hours seems
If everyone
fine.
just gets the same amount when they start, I think
Cool.
that's fair.
Okay,
Then
all
let's
right.
just do 8.
8,
Yeah.
okay.
8 hours upfront for temp staff. That feels fair, and that's essentially like potentially 2 shifts
Yeah.
for that week, so they got sick, and that's 2
Yeah.
shifts upfront.
Mhm.
That
Or
makes
4
sense.
hours, 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that 8 hours up front for temp staff? Will that be an undue burden for
No.
management? Okay.
No, that's totally doable.
Okay.
That's easy. It's just like the upfront, but yeah, the tracking it, even that Jonathan and I were trying to do with tracking all together.
No, it's too much.
It's almost easier to track than it is for at least temp staff than it is to try to just give them, because to give them the full 80 hours that's a lot of sick time to give a temporary employee up front.
Yeah,
Because that's what we wanted to do originally.
right. Especially since a lot of our temporary employees also have like a planned exit date, like, you know, yeah.
Yeah. And that's a lot of time. that
Is
they
it-
take
this
off
is-
consecutive.
Oh, yeah, and it's
Mhm.
paid sick time too.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And before, staff weren't really using it, but we we have seen a big increase in it being used, which is, that's what it's there for, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But when you have so much of it up front, that's when I think we just wanted to make sure that we're mitigating any.
Makes sense.
Okay, we feel good about 8 hours up front?
Yeah,
That sounds good.
Cool.
Sounds
We'll
good.
add that in, and then this will come back to the board.
yeah, for sure. Okay, and then our second
Your next
decision.
step- Oh, the second. Oh, yeah, did you want to make sure you were fine with?
Yeah, so we have, if you want to use more than 4 consecutive paid sick days, you may at your or GM discretion. Who take more than 4 consecutive sick days required. Are we worried about accessibility and getting a medical release to come back? Because it
Take
says,
more than 4 consecutive.
yeah, because it
sick
says
days.
will be required.
We can change that to may be required.
So take,
Yeah,
May seems like it would just be easier.
It gives a little bit more discretion and
Mhm.
flexibility. Okay,
yeah, just because I do worry about accessibility of healthcare,
absolutely.
especially for, I mean, full-time, we give them healthcare, but for temporary,
Mhm.
yeah.
Also, this just I feel like it makes it easier for you guys, because it's all up to your discretion. So there's no like complications there. Like you're not limited by the policy.
Yeah,
So yeah, I like that too.
I like that too. I think that's fine.
Okay, perfect. I'll run it by Joan and just make sure all is well.
Yeah, of
But
course.
absolutely.
Yeah, and then we'll come back and then hopefully Kristen can be here and then we can get the 3 of us to
Yep.
decide on that.
Got
Perfect.
it.
Perfect.
Cool.
Move it on.
Next step, resignation procedures. So we
Mhm.
talked at pretty great length about what
Yes.
definition of good standing was last time. So we threw that all into this policy. So this was recently approved. We had to approve it recently on September 9th, and now we're coming back to do it
Yes.
again.
Yes.
So again, we added a little bit here because Joan reviewed this as well. So to leave the district voluntarily in
Yes.
what's good standing, Joan suggested taking this out. The GM can make any exception to any policy for a legitimate business reason. There's no need to state that here.
Because it's redundant.
Yeah, correct.
Wait, sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, so previously this had in this policy, the general manager may however grant good standing with less notice if they determine the circumstances warrant. Joan recommended removing that entirely because at the end of the day, any policy of the district is warned. The GM can.
Oh, any policy.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so these don't limit.
Yep.
Oh, okay,
Says,
okay.
yeah, may make any exception to any policy for a legitimate business reason. There's no need to state it here.
Oh, so all these policies we're deciding on, these are just like kind of guidelines to like look back up to reference.
They are Jonathan's guiding
Yeah.
light for that, but if he has a
But
legitimate
yes.
business reason, case by case basis.
He can change
Right.
things. Okay,
Yes, he can.
that's good to know.
This is what he follows unless there's an exception. And the fact that he can make an exception for a legitimate business reason, was that something that the district decided early or is that like state law?
I think that's just state law. That's just what Joan, yeah,
Cool.
that's my understanding. I can always come back and double check, but yes.
Okay, I mean, if it's state law, I can't
Yeah.
touch that anyways. An exit interview.
Yeah, so basically, we took everything that we talked about. They completed at least 1 academic quarter. That's pretty standard for some of our interns that are here for shorter periods of time. They do a written notice, no active, this is kind of very specific, no active disciplinary action on record at the time of resignation. Any corrective action was, 6 in 6 months.
6 months. Yeah.
Return on property.
Yeah.
And they work with, the GM on their resignation dates, and then they participate in an interview if we request one. Sometimes we do, we like to keep that as a standard. We have all employees do an exit interview, but again, case by case basis,
Yeah.
things happen, people leave, whatever the case may be. And then again, employees who are signing that they have the rehire eligibility, letters of recommendation. Joan had recommended against this, I'm just being transparent. However, given the nature of our work and who we work with, it's kind of who we are and what we do. Providing, I mean, we're giving people job experience and we want to be able to, but again, she technically advises against.
Why did she advise against it?
Here's a best practice not to provide letters of recommendation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
That's weird.
Yeah, you have to, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think.
Because
For
legally,
us.
For us, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But legally, if you put someone on as a job reference, I only have to share like the person's title and the dates that they worked. I don't
Mhm.
actually have to say anything about like their,
Quality
unless they
report.
want to.
Right.
Yeah, so employee resigns without meeting the requirement of good standing may not be eligible for rehire, whether it's rec, internship ops, or recognition by the board.
And then
Mhm.
board maybe recognized if they are permanent employees who have completed at least, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Mhm.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
mean, like, regarding Joan's recommendation to not have the letters of rec, I mean, that recommendation was born out of like, not the district staff not overextending themselves, it's not like we open ourselves up to lawsuits, okay, cool, yeah.
Oh, she was just worried about the task of writing.
Workload.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
but I mean,
it's not a
Okay.
problem.
But that's probably one of the biggest incentives for hiring.
I mean, for sure,
Yeah.
it's on our like landlord stuff.
Yeah, we want to get this.
Yeah,
We give all
I
of
like
our
that.
CAP and CLE, and we give lots
Yeah.
of letters of rec out, so.
I mean,
it's
that's,
only fair.
as long as we're not opening source up to lawsuits, that's our style. Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. Bilingual stipend policy.
Yeah.
So this, again, it encompasses everything that we talked about last time in
Mhm.
regards to Spanish and Mandarin.
Mhm.
The difference here is, or from what we talked about, is this is going to be available to all employees. Again, we kind of said like within like the, whatever you use within your job description, but
Mhm.
all of our employees will use Spanish at some point in their job, whether they're tabling, canvassing, because even our IVB and Compass Collective staff, they're out and about talking to the
Mhm.
community.
Yeah.
So, but again, as of right now, the way that it's written, we do include temporary employees. So we want to ask you all if you want to include temporary employees or just include this for regular, full-time.
I think it makes sense to include temporary
Yeah.
employees, because, yeah.
How expensive would it be to, I mean, like, how many temporary?
100, so how many, I don't know how many current employees we have that are
Temporary.
temporary. I mean, temporary employees we have.
So pay period, so $100 every 2 weeks.
$200 a month per person.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
That doesn't seem too bad. Is that
Um,
significant or?
I know, as of right now, we have one regular employee for sure, potentially one or two temp.
Yeah.
I can do some math, yeah.
How many temp employees are there in total?
IBB has 5. CC has 2, right? So 7 right now, but we're gonna be hiring, I think, 3 more. So 8-ish, under 10.
Okay. Yeah, so.
So
good
it
to-
is, we generally have under 10.
That's
Part-time
10 for
employees.
IBB and Compass, and then we have intern 3. So like 10 to 12 with our
Okay,
admin intern, so government admin, data analyst, and CE intern. So yeah,
so
up to
like
12.
worst case, it would be like 2,000 a month if everybody was doing it, which is
Yeah.
very unlikely.
Yes, and we couldn't. I mean, I don't think that that's why this
That would be too
may
much.
be available,
Uh-huh,
Mhm.
because it's gonna also be
yeah,
dependent on
Yeah.
our budget at the time.
I think, so for full-time, yes.
yeah,
For temporary, I enjoy May, because like,
yeah,
having it under the discretion, because also, yes, our temporary employees are out in the community, so they could be talking to any community members, but like, realistically,
Not as
do they,
frequently.
you know?
Not as often.
like people who would be tabling would.
Yeah,
So that's where the May comes in, like if they're tabling, then they receive
Sure.
it, if not.
Mhm.
then,
but like, I
you know.
imagine like, how many community members do like dirt riders talk to? You know?
Again, they table.
Okay, they table.
Yeah, all of our employees table at one point or another.
Okay,
Tabling seems like the
Tabling
biggest,
is, yeah,
yeah,
the all hands on deck, welcome week and
Yeah,
being at all
yeah,
the things,
yeah.
yeah, all hands on deck.
how often do you encounter Mandarin?
We encountered it a lot when we were doing the mobility plan. We had all of our materials available in Mandarin. Our survey only had, I think it was maybe like 15 responses in Mandarin, but we had a lot of people that came to our town halls requiring it.
Okay.
So, I mean, maybe not a lot, like 4 or 5,
Uh-huh.
more than you would think.
yeah,
Yeah,
So those are the 2 primary.
yeah.
Yeah, I think,
And
yeah,
this
Yeah.
number, $100 stipend per pay period, that's also up for negotiation. That is just a number that I went based off of the city of Santa Barbara.
yeah,
Mhm.
We can make that whatever you all feel.
Mhm.
And then the only other note here is we will have testing in place, but
Sure.
I'm waiting to hear back from the best. But
Okay, yeah, so yeah, for temporary employees who probably don't do it as nearly as much as a regular employee would.
you could change the stipend essentially if you wanted to.
Okay, so yeah, we could have one for regular and one for temporary.
Yeah, yes, because
Yes.
one could argue that they work less frequently
Yeah.
than full-time employees, yeah.
Yeah, because this is a stipend, so, you know, full-time employees might be using their bilingual skills 40 hours a week, so
Mhm.
I don't think it'd be unreasonable to say that part-time employees would get 50 or 25, you know, depending on how
We could do,
part their time is.
we could do what we did with the other thing and divide it by 3.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
We could do like $30.
yeah, for sure.
Would that be an undue financial burden?
No, it's just something that I have to do. It's gonna be a thing, so to speak,
Okay.
it's fine. It's-
Okay.
I want this to be something that our employees get, so it's not a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like having the May. I want to definitely keep the May in there
Yes,
for
I think-
part-time.
Yeah,
And then I like doing
$30,
50 or, yeah.
30, 40.
So full-time, 100.
Yeah,
Okay, so, all right.
Yeah.
Just make the comment here, so 100 for regular, and, I'm sorry, you said 30?
I think, 30 is like what we did for that's like a close to a third, which is what we did for the sick days.
Then
So,
it should be by the same fraction.
yeah, we could do 33, but I don't know, 30 is just
That's
a
a
round
bit
number.
Do 30 for, okay,
Yeah,
and again,
Yeah, there's the third and the third. And then policy applies to all IVC and this, for eligibility, it can be this policy applies to all
period. And then
full and then May temporary. Yeah, that's good to go.
Alright, and then to be eligible for a bilingual, employees must first through a proficiency test approved by the district, continued eligibility for the second year program.
Oh, I like the
Proficiency test.
retesting, so you don't just
Yeah.
forget a language, yeah.
Proficiency test, has there been a proficiency test that like is there any idea for that yet? Or?
Yeah,
Like,
there's
is
a
there-
company, a third party called Alta that I
Uh-huh.
was looking into.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
But I did email, the labor relations for the department of the city of SB. So I'm trying to see kind of what like the
Mhm.
standard is, so we can be pretty
Mhm.
consistent across the county, but
Yeah,
haven't heard, but we will have it in place.
Yeah,
This
that makes
this
sense.
is not gonna come back on the 28th.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think,
but-
just whatever proficiency that, if it works for them, it should work for us.
Yeah, and we'll have to kind of
Mhm.
see how much it costs, and there's some
Yeah.
other things to still be done before this can
Yeah.
for sure be in place.
Oh, yeah, if it's
Yeah.
like
We have to
expensive,
see
then it's
The
like,
budget stuff, yeah.
The budget aspect
yes,
of this.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So,
that sounds good.
but this is all
Sounds good for
really
now,
helpful.
though.
Yeah, and then Spanish and Mandarin are pre-approved and you can request GM from,
Yep.
it's good.
Maybe considered.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so we'll say
That's
all regular employees and then may include temp.
Mhm.
Which I'll confirm with Joan that
We can do that.
say that. Mhm.
Sounds good.
Yeah, looks good to me.
Okay, cool. Community vendor policy, again, this one we came with a discussion, we chatted about it, and then we're coming back
Oh,
with the
yes, I
written
remember this
policy.
one.
Mhm.
This did not go to Joan.
It was not ready
necessary.
yet for her, yeah.
It's just not an HR one necessarily, this is more of like best practice for us. So essentially, it basically says that top priority are local IV businesses that have an address here. And then we'll kind of, depending on what the need is, we'll expand from there, from Goleta, Santa Barbara, and then if we have to go wider than that, we will. And then for transparency purposes, we'll annually track and report how much has been spent with IV vendors and other local businesses. But yeah, this is basic, it just says that this is, our gold standard, and that's what we want to strive for.
Is there anything to, what do we?
There's,
For
this is just,
this one's-
this one's not an HR related. It's-
Okay, alright.
You guys, I'm happy to read it to you if you want to see, but it basically,
This was the one that was taken from the water district, or what was it?
we were talking about it because of the co-op, and we wanted to encourage people to shop locally.
Yeah.
And so we had merged it into just a general community
Okay.
vendor policy.
Yeah.
We'd like to have like a webs, a
Yeah,
webpage dedicated to local vendors people to support.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, and we were talking about this also for like when we buy bagels for Deltopia and stuff.
Yes,
I
exactly,
think I said
exactly.
bagels a whole bunch.
Yep.
Yeah.
We just said support local IB businesses go first, no performance reporting. I'm looking at our notes from the last one. But we can, report on how much we spend on local businesses. Like, for example, for like IB Safe, we usually do Zocalo. For
Yeah.
IBCN, we did Woodstocks. Like, we try to spread the wealth. We've had people reach out to us, like, asking, like, hey, can you, like, pick us for your next? So, like, we do try to spread the
spread the wealth a little bit.
Okay.
This seems good to me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And I'm imagining that in the future, we'll have really cute little window stickers that say like IUB community vendor. Like 5 years in the future. It's gonna happen. Perfect.
Okay, that's all of them.
Well.
That was
I
quick.
told you it was gonna be 4 of them.
Yeah.
We don't meet again until December.
Yes.
So I can tell you the ones that we have in the pipeline, if
Yeah.
that's helpful.
And then we can prioritize.
And we can kind of prioritize. So remote work policy did not come back to this meeting because that one, Joan looked at, and it's gonna require some work on our end to really figure out and.
That one I
deep-
remember was a little complicated.
Yeah, it's because we're trying to do like a remote plus work from home into one policy, and we just need 2 policies.
Okay.
It's just
Yeah.
getting a little too complicated. But we have, so that'll come back, and then an overtime policy. Basically, we just need to just get with times, pay time and a half, include that in there. Unauthorized leave policy, also a simple fix. We don't have a policy, it's like an overpaid, if an employee is overpaid,
How they return it.
how they return it and how,
Can you just take it out of their next paycheck or?
It might be
unfortunately.
legal.
Yeah.
It's illegal?
Yeah, there's a couple of different ways we've done it in the
Because I think
past.
that happened with my stipend one time.
Yes, and I would just take it from your
Yeah.
next one, but again, I have to like get a written
Yeah.
approval
Oh,
and
wow.
notice from
Okay, yeah.
you and do all of that, make sure it's
Mhm.
all. And then now we have like a very specific like board stipend track, so we just need to have like a policy in place.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
There's been overpayments in the past and we've done like a repayment plan, or some people just pay it like a lump sum up front. It just depends. Yeah, things happen all the time. And then again, there's like the whole section in we're trying to really work through our interim employee handbook. So harassment, bullying, retaliation, there's a whole section on that needs to come back. Some compensation and salary stuff and performance eval. Employee flex time policy. And then personal vehicle usage and reimbursement policy. Personal leave, we don't have that at the moment.
Okay.
And then that's more than enough to get us through December. And those are not all gonna come back, but some of those are like super easy
Yeah.
to do. Oh, and dependent policy.
Yes.
But that one might not be a policy, it might just be asking Naomi what we need to do, so.
Okay.
Anything jumping out at you or anything that you would like to focus on either of you? Like,
The one thing that jumped out to me was the personal vehicle use, because like, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, I was tabling with Ellie and she drove us in her car.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that has already come up.
Yep.
Other than that, which ones stick out to you as like, these are annoying to staff?
Overtime policy, overpaid policy, employee flex time policy for sure. That's just, it's just, yeah, we all work a lot, and so to be able to like try and figure out a way to manage people's flex time versus how we're doing it right now.
Wait, sorry, what's flex time?
So basically is it exempt? I always get it wrong. Exempt or non-exempt? The employees that are salaried that can work more than 40 hours a week, essentially. So if you're salaried, there's weeks where I work more than 40, then I would flex my time either that week or the following week. We don't have a policy in place about that. And it needs to kind of have like some sort of written approval. Like I need to give Jonathan a heads up, like, hey, I'm gonna, like, I worked this, I'm gonna take flex time here. We're doing that, but just unofficially right now. So we need to just get a policy in place.
Okay, that sounds good.
I mean, if you're okay with that, I think we should prioritize whatever
I like the
important for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can definitely come back.
in the car one. I agree with what you said. That
Yes.
does seem like that's something that would probably come up a lot.
Yeah.
It does come up because like you would think, especially for like reimbursement, and you get reimbursed for mileage, for example, but like if you live in IV and you have to drive to Santa Barbara for a meeting, like do you get reimbursed? So there's a lot of gray
Yeah.
And
that we can.
EVs too.
Yeah.
Yeah. How does that work? Or
Yeah, that seems like a complicated one that we should probably get done.
So that's,
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And then whatever makes sense
Whatever
to you.
proposal works for you.
yeah, Jonathan and I'll meet and kind of go over these and then we'll bring them back.
Sounds good.
Mhm.
Which then, since, we meet after our last board meeting of the year, nothing will get done until January, but
Yeah,
at
no
least we can make
Yeah.
some headway
Yeah.
over that.
That's perfect. In fact, I would prefer you did not work between Christmas and New Year's.
We're closed.
Good.
Yeah,
Be
it's
closed.
really nice.
Like, be closed.
It's a huge perk of the district to be closed during that time. It's
Yes.
so nice.
Also,
No one's really working.
no one's working anyway.
Yeah, you're not gonna get an email response anyway.
No one's working anyways. Yeah.
Exactly.
I just think it should be a national holiday week.
Right.
That's kind of how it is in China. They have like
I
a
know.
whole week or
I know.
2 weeks or
They're
something.
just like, stop BS.
Yeah.
No one's doing stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you're good, we can adjourn.
Yeah, so our next regular meeting will be on Tuesday, December 9th at 5:30 p.m. here in this meeting room. So we can now adjourn the meeting. I feel like I need to have some